Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back. And welcome back, No Contact Army. Have you been a good little soldier or a bad little soldier? And if you too would like to join the No Contact Army, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and you're in. And to check out the No Contact Army manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com where you can read 2 free chapters before purchasing the book. This week, I want to talk about the number one thing that determines if you will get your ex back. So I'm going to start with a story that perfectly illustrates what this one thing is, and then we'll go from there. So over a year ago, I went on a first date with a guy, and we hung out for an hour and a half. Everything went well until towards the end of the date, I unfortunately said something I shouldn't have said, and I probably traumatized him, and he wanted nothing more to do with me. I blew it. Yes, even I can make a mistake once in a while. But in all fairness, he actually started it. So he said something, and unfortunately, I wasn't thinking, and then I said something else, and poof, off it went into the ethers. And so I knew I blew it, and I was disappointed because I liked him. What I knew of him from meeting him for a brief time. And I thought of him over the past year, and I thought, oh, I messed it up, but whatever, he wants nothing to do with me. So imagine my surprise, you know where this is going, where when a few months ago, suddenly I saw that he had swiped right on me on another app. And at first I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, he actually wants to talk to me? I was totally surprised. And so indeed, yes, we did talk quite a bit, and we haven't gotten together yet. And we have talked about it. I think he's still afraid that I'm going to say something again and traumatize him again. Maybe he's even listening. If you are, don't worry. I'm not going to say anything. But also on top of that he swiped right and we've talked, he doesn't follow me on Instagram, and yet I see that on a regular basis, not every day, but regularly, he is watching my stories. And so since he doesn't follow me, he has to go to my profile to see my story. And so why am I telling you this? Because this has to do with the number one thing that determines if you'll get your ex back, and that is interest level. If this guy's interest level hadn't risen in the past year, then he would not have swiped right on me. So even though we only met for 1.5 hours over a year ago, his interest level was able to go up again, and he swiped right on me. And the more things you do right after a breakup, the higher their interest level goes. The more things you do wrong, the lower your interest level goes. So I knew I'd blown it. I didn't beg and plead or do anything. I just had to walk away. I knew there was nothing I could say or do. I had totally blown it. So in order to raise your ex's interest level after the breakup, it's important that you do the right things. I tell my clients that getting ex back is like a chess game. You have to take it in steps. I can't give you an action plan because once in a while people will say, do you have an action plan? There is no action plan. It's a chess game. It's a fluid situation. We don't know what your ex is going to do or not do, say or not say. So I can't tell you all the possibilities. And that's why with my coaching, we take it in steps. So even if someone buys, let's say, an hour, we don't necessarily need to be on the phone for an hour the first time. And we just stop whenever, and they use the rest of the time for when they hear from their ex. And then they go, okay, he said this, she said this, she did this, now what? So it's taken in steps. You can't know ahead of time. But as I said, the more things you do right, the more likely it is that their interest level is going to go up, because you were their king or their queen, and now you're just a commoner. So the less mistakes you make, the sooner you will get back to being their queen or king. And a queen or king does not beg, okay? They don't try to talk their ex out of breaking up with them. They stay in no contact, because when you're dumped, you have no power. So you have to temporarily accept defeat knowing that you can slowly regain the power and work your way up the hierarchy from commoner to knight to lord and lady, baron and baroness, viscount and viscountess, count and countess, marquis and marquise, duke and duchess, prince and princess, and finally back to king and queen. I have these royal references because I've been watching Reign on Netflix. That's Reign. And so it's affecting the way I look at things momentarily. So just as my date was interested enough to get back in touch, his interest level was high enough, then your ex will also get back in touch and maybe even want to get back together based on their interest level. Whether you've been apart for 6 days, 60 days, 6 months, or even 6 years. It's a matter of doing the right things and saying the right things. And so you say, well, what are the right things? Well, it's all I talk about in my videos. Stay in no contact, depending on the situation. Don't respond to insignificant texts. You have to make the right moves and counter moves because, as I said before, it's a chess game. And interest level trumps everything. And I do mean everything. Because people say, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Everything. So their attachment style, even if they're avoidant, you get their interest level up, you'll hear from them. Time apart, if you've been apart for a long time, months, years, doesn't matter. Time together, if it was only a short relationship, 1 month, doesn't matter. If it was a really bad breakup, if you cheated or something really bad happened, it doesn't matter. If they have a rebound, it doesn't matter. As long as you raise their interest level, you will hear from them. Get their interest level above 50. Okay, so if you would like my help with that, to get your ex back, you can contact me at theartoflove.net. The direct link is below and we'll send you the rates. If this video has been helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to a podcast, remember to rate and review. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.